837 Big 550 KTRS. Kat Neville, one of our favorites, is here on the Big 550 KTRS. Good morning, Kat.
Good morning.
You are sponsored by Twisted Tree Steakhouse, the newest offering from the Cyberg family at Watson Lindbergh on Sunset Hills. Now they're serving lunch and dinner. Check out their Sip and Savor Happy Hour 3 to 6. Check out our friend Jimmy Cristo, who's running the place over there, 314-394-3366, or twistedtreesteakhouse.com. We are giving you just a little bit less time because we're saving time for Kevin O'Connor from This Old House.
Yes, he gave Dr. Lim
All
less time.
right, okay.
He gave Dr. Lim less time, too.
Just 30 seconds less because
It's okay. I can handle
we
it.
have to complain that that's a very average host for This Old House. He's living my life.
Oh, see, he's talking about him now. You're cutting into her
You
time.
need to launch a woodworking show.
Yes.
Thank you.
We keep talking about this.
How many
Ask
times do we
McGraw.
have to tell you?
Ask McGraw. I'll be a banker. All right, Kat, what do we got today?
We have Filipino food today.
Yes.
And it's okay that we have a shortened amount of time because the entire issue of Feast this month is dedicated to the food of the Philippines. It's very trendy, and across the country it's very trendy. And so we decided to focus our April, can't believe it's April, our April issue on what's happening regionally with regard to this cuisine. And most of our listeners, I'm sure, have heard of Guerrilla Street Food. It launched as a food truck a number of years ago, extremely popular. They expanded to be a brick and mortar, I think, a couple of years ago. And the address, if you've never been there, is 3559 Arsenal in Grand, South Grand. And so Brian and Joel, the partners behind Guerrilla Street Food, recently went back to Joel's family is from the Philippines. And so they went back and went on this massive food tour of the Philippines. And so we have a fantastic feature story that kind of follows them day by day through everything that they ate when they were there. And Filipino food is really interesting. Obviously, the Philippines is in Asia, and there are a lot of influences in their cuisine, everything from Chinese food to Spanish food. And so the cuisine has become just a really unique blend of flavors that that include a lot of sharp vinegar elements that are offset by sweetness, and it's very complex. And for example, one of the desserts that Brian and Joel had when they were in the Philippines was chocolate ice cream topped with dried anchovies.
Ooh.
Nice.
Right. So they're using like umami flavors. So we're not talking about like an Italian style vinegar. It's a dried anchovy. So those are those can be kind of like if you've ever had one before, the flavor is a little bit salty, a little bit umami. It's an interesting thing. They also had another ice cream that was topped with like a shrimp paste. So there are these.
It's not very sweet. They're
No,
desserts.
no.
Right?
When we have an entire feature also featuring recipes for Filipino desserts that have a lot of rice and coconut milk, and they don't tend to be terribly sweet, but they have a lot of just really interesting textures to them. So anyway, it's that feature with Brian and Joel. Right now, they're in the process of kind of introducing some more really interesting dishes to their menu. They don't say that their food at Guerrilla Street Food is authentic, and I'm using air quotes, Filipino, because Brian has a very interesting fine dining background, and so it really is Filipino food with kind of a chef perspective. And so if you're interested in exploring that cuisine, they do great stuff, including they have suckling pig roasts every week. They have a really great kind of area in the back where they will put up their suckling pigs. I believe it's every Saturday, and roast them right there on the spit, and it's neat.
3559 Arsenal, right there on Arsenal and Grand, catty corner to Tower Grove Park over there. What's number 2?
Number 2 is Skip to Malou. And Kelly, it has to be credited with bringing Malou's just really fantastic perspective on Filipino cuisine to light. Malou is a native of the Philippines. She moved to the U.S. Because her husband moved here. He was studying immunology in New York. They moved around, ended up based here in St. Louis. And so she started cooking and blogging, and just eventually now she is doing what are called Kamayan nights at Hero Asian, which is at 1405. I can't read my writing, or it's 1465 Washington Avenue. I have bad handwriting. Anyone who knows me knows that is true. It's because I have so much in my brain. I guess scribble
just a
everything
little
down.
busy.
It's on
Yes.
Washington Avenue
Yes.
or in Columbia. We can't tell.
Right. I don't know. So she once a month, and the next one is next Wednesday, will do these massive Filipino style Kamayan dinners. And Kamayan means to eat with your hands. And so there are no utensils. Everything is laid out on banana leaves, and everybody eats with their hands. And
Wow.
McGraw is making a face.
Well, that's kind of.
He's like,
no,
"What?"
No, I think it's right up your alley.
No, it's really cool.
No.
And so
It's
like
beautiful.
it is beautiful. And again, we've got tons of pictures. It's actually the cover of the magazine this month. If you're interested in seeing photos from one of her dinners, just go to feastmagazine.com. But she does all these kinds of really interesting plays on Filipino cuisine. So for example, there is a beef bone marrow dish that she has turned into a croquette, and so that makes it easy to eat with your hands. She does these like roasted mackerel. She has these like savory waffles. I'm kind of looking at this photo that is, and Jonathan Gaiman shot these photos, and they're beautiful. Spicy chicken wings with adobo sauce, pork spare ribs with a guava jelly reduction.
And it's always different every time.
It's always different. Yeah. So what I'm saying, it's not like there's a set menu. She's always playing around with it, and it's just really fun. There are also on Saturdays, she has worked with Bernie Lee, who's the owner of Hero, to add some Filipino dishes to their Saturday brunch. So if you want to go to Hero on Saturday, you'll have a few Filipino dishes on the menu.
Okay, so her restaurant is called Skip to Malou.
It is not a restaurant.
It's not a restaurant.
It is a food blog.
It's a food blog.
Yes.
Okay.
She caters too.
And
She
then-
does cater.
She does cater,
Kelly.
and then once a month she does these
Kamayan nights.
Kamayan nights.
Yes, where she cooks at Hero.
Okay.
And she sets it up so it's like a pop-up dinner.
Gotcha.
So it's
Okay.
not it's not like you can go to the restaurant and order off of the menu. It is a set menu, and you're along for the ride. And you
should
sit
go,
down.
McGraw.
And Hero is at 1405 Washington
Correct.
Avenue or
Correct.
1465.
So Bernie, has allowed for this to happen in
Right.
the restaurant with Malou, and so once a month she does these pop-ups.
What a great
but then
idea.
I know it's really fun. But then if you go to brunch at Hero, you can have some of the dishes that she's helped develop for the menu.
That is a great story.
It's really
Yeah.
fun.
How'd you find her?
We were neighbors.
Yeah, they're
And
neighbors.
she would cook for me. She'd bring food over.
Really?
And then you had her on
food.
Channel 5.
Yes, and then I was the first one to get her on media here in St. Louis.
That's the I
now she's
know.
blown up. She's everywhere now.
And you totally get the shout out in the feature story. There's a whole paragraph about Kelly in this
Seriously,
feature
though,
story.
her
All right.
cooking is
The
amazing.
blog's name is Skip to
Malou.
Skip to Malou.
Yes, because her name is Malou.
Right. Skip to Malou, my darling.
Exactly.
Right.
There you go. 1405 Washington Avenue. That's Hero. That's where you can eat her great.
And other wonderful things
and
at
other
Hero.
wonderful things.
Yes.
And then Gorilla Street, 3559 Arsenal. I got 15 seconds. Let's go on Feast Magazine.
Vote for your favorites. The Feast 50 poll is up and running.
Aha.
And so get on feastmagazine.com. It's called the Feast 50 because there are 50 categories
Yes.
in which you can vote. So get in there. We have nominated a number of people, but you can also write in your favorites. So if you don't see your favorite on the list, write them in. And the results will come out in August. So this will be running throughout the entire month of April.
I'm going to write my favorite newscaster who found a Filipino woman who makes great food.
Oh, I know.
Kelly
Kelly Jackson.
846, Big 550, KTRS.